Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories for you. First, it seems that two Ethiopian armed groups are on their way to form an alliance against the Ethiopian PM Abiy's government. The two armed groups can connect geographically too. They're not like Tigray fighters and Ola, both not linked geographically. These two groups can join hands practically on the ground too, but any progress being made. Secondly, Brigade Nhamham issued a statement today criticizing the German government. German government has launched a crackdown on Brigade Nhamham people. Dozens of houses of Brigade Nhamham people have been searched in the last 72 hours. What is the Brigade Nhamham saying now? Let's start, viewers. Firstly, two Ethiopian armed groups could form an alliance against PM Abiy's government. It seems signs are there. One group has invited the other group to join hands. The other group is expected to reply in coming days. Which two groups? How deadly could that alliance be? Yesterday, Ogaden National Liberation Front issued a statement in connection with Eid ul-Fitr. ONLF criticized Ethiopian government, saying that the Ethiopian government was violating 2018 deal signed with ONLF, that Ogaden people are suffering. They are occupied illegally. They are being denied their rights. They are facing systematic discrimination, marginalization. In the statement, one paragraph is very meaningful. I did a video on that. ONLF directly accused Oromos. It said that yesterday Oromo girls were mutilated by people, and today these Oromos who were partners of Somalis are turning on Oromos and turning on Somalis and these Oromos in power. They are now targeting Somalis, and they want to annex Somali territories. They want to capture Somali resources. That part of statement by ONLF was very alarming. ONLF accused Oromos, means Oromo government. Then came a statement today by Oromo Liberation Army. OLA is an armed group. ONLF is a political party, but it was an armed group. It turned into a political party in 2018. Some recent statements of ONLF imply that ONLF could revert to armed struggle like OLA. That is why OLA issued a statement today. OLA firstly asked ONLF to make a correction. OLA says that this government is not pro-Oromo government. Since 2019, this government has been targeting Oromos. Oromos have been suffering. That is why ONLF should not equate the atrocities being committed by this government as atrocities being committed by Oromos. ONLF must made this correction, firstly. Secondly, OLA says that Somalis and Oromos are neighbors. They are allies. In the past, they worked jointly for political movements, for social movements. These two people, these two nations, these two peoples work together. There's brotherhood, there's camaraderie between the two sides. That is why this is the time for the two sides to join hands for a united armed struggle, for a united struggle against PM Abiy's government. OLA is hoping that ONLF will make a correction and join hands with the Oromo Liberation Army for a joint struggle against the regime, means PM Abiy's government. So Oromo Liberation Army is inviting ONLF to work in collaboration with OLA to start a joint armed struggle. What will ONLF do? ONLF a few days ago warned Chinese companies against exploring for oil and gas in Ogaden. It said the companies will pay the price, they'll face the consequences if they dig for the resources which belong to the people of Ogaden. Meanwhile, the Somali regional government has been warning people against listening to the propaganda, allegedly called propaganda launched by individuals and forces in the Somali region of Ethiopia. Will OLA and OLF join hands for an joint armed struggle against the Ethiopian government? Let's see. If it happens, it could be a major development because Somali region and Oromia share a border. ONLF and OLA can join practically on the ground, and their alliance could be very deadly. They could be significant in terms of border control too. OLA has presence on Ethiopia-Kenya border. ONLF could find support on Ethiopia-Somalia border. And they can jointly make Ethiopia-Djibouti train and road link inaccessible too. They can be deadly in terms of their joint action. Let's see what will ONLF do. Will it say yes to OLA's invitation? Will it make a correction or not? Interestingly, OLF and OFC issued some statements in the past. ONLF then criticized OLF and OFC. That was the start of this Oromo-Somali confrontation, which we have been seeing for the last few days. OLA is taking a separate position. It wants ONLF to join hands with the Oromo Liberation Army, while OLF and OFC, Oromo Liberation Front and Oromo Federalist Congress, seem to be in talks with the federal government of Ethiopia. It's clear now that OLA is parting ways with OLF. It's parting ways with OFC. Will it find an ally in the form of ONLF? Let's wait and see. Brigade Nhamham, secondly, viewers, has issued a statement. Brigade Nhamham is an Eritrean opposition group. For the last 3 years, the group has been involved in attacks on pro-Eritrean government festivals organized in Europe, in North America. BN members openly admitted carrying out attacks on the festivals, but after public opinion turned against them in Europe, in North America, and legal proceedings were started against them, they backtracked. Now they don't want to, they don't admit that they have been involved in attacks on particular programs. German government last week rather, on weekend, launched a crackdown on Brigade Nhamham with the people. German security forces searched several houses where Eritreans are residing. Danish government also launched a similar operation, and German prosecutor office labeled Brigade Nhamham as a domestic terrorist entity, which was alarming because Brigade Nhamham claims to be a movement, peaceful, democratic movement, which is working for democratic, peaceful change in Eritrea. But German government called it a domestic terrorist entity. That is the Brigade Nhamham. They issued a statement today saying that Brigade Nhamham, the people are not terrorists. They are survivors. They fled tyranny. They fled conscription. They fled indefinite national service. They fled freedom of expression, denial of freedom of expression. They fled atrocities which are committed by the Eritrean government. These people suffered. Somehow they managed to reach Europe. They are victims. They are survivors. They're not terrorists. And the Brigade says that German government should make a correction. Brigade Nhamham is not a terrorist entity. Rather, Eritrean government has been using festivals, such programs organized in Europe to spread propaganda against dissidents, to target dissidents, to blackmail dissidents, and to collect money from diaspora by force. The German government should not label a peaceful democratic movement of Eritreans as a terrorist entity's activities. Let's see, will German government make a correction? Brigade Nhamham, though, I think adopted a wrong strategy. Now it is paying the price. It will have to change its strategy. You cannot fight in the streets of Europe, kill each other, and then say that you are peaceful. This strategy had some real flaws. It is making corrections now, but it, I think, lost the spotlight which it gained in the last few years in terms of highlighting the suffering of certain people. Rather, it is turning into an entity which is causing violence on the streets of Europe. Thank you for watching.